I am convinced at this point that the woke media, they are intentionally trying to destroy the WNBA. After decades of irrelevance, after decades of playing pretend basketball in empty high school gyms, after decades of being a steaming turd, the WNBA has finally become a polished turd. And the media, they are doing everything they can to spread the stench. The same media who claims to be fighting for the dump. The same media who tries to convince us the elite athleticism that it takes to airball a dunk. I am convinced at this point the media, they don't even watch the WNBA. Like the rest of the country, the only player the media focuses on is Caitlin Clark. And they are doing everything in their power to destroy her drawing power. Did you know that Wednesday night, Angel Reese had her best game as a rookie WNBA player? Did you know that? The citizens of Chicago didn't know the seats were empty in the LGBT Civic Center. Wednesday night against the female Suns from Connecticut, Angel Reese, she had a double-double. Now, in the WNBA, a double-double is emptying over 10 garbage cans and replenishing the trash bags. But I would be willing to bet the vast majority of people did not know about Angel Reese's breakout performance. Not only was the game not nationally televised, but the same media who claims to want to focus on the actual basketball in the WNBA, they ignored the story. How long is SportsCenter nowadays? What is it, about an hour, maybe an hour and a half? There was not a single mention of Angel Reese on SportsCenter. Her breakout performance as a rookie dump diver, it went completely unnoticed. Why? Because the mainstream media is too busy trying to destroy the career of Caitlin Clark. The media is too busy trying to destroy the drawing power of the only star in the WNBA. And you don't have to take my word for it. KC always comes with the proof. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Last night, Caitlin Clark and the role players known as the Indiana Felines, they were at home to play against the Atlanta Dreamers. Now, this was a very big deal for most of the Dreamers. The Dreamers, they play their home games in a high school gym, and that is not hyperbole. The Gateway Center, it holds 3,500 people. For some of these female Dreamers, last night was their first experience playing in an actual arena. The Felines beat the Dreamers with a strong performance from Andrea Cleveland or Malia Boston. I mean, who cares? It doesn't matter what her name is. No one cares about the game. The media could care less about what happens on the court. The only thing the media is worried about are the words of Caitlin Clark. Headline at ESPN, the same ESPN who ignored the breakout performance of Angel Reese Wednesday night. Headline at ESPN, Caitlin Clark speaks out against racist, misogynistic comments. Headline at the Cemetery News Network, formerly known as CNN. Caitlin Clark says people weaponizing her name is disappointing. Where do I even begin? First of all, these headlines are incredibly misleading. You'll see what I mean here in just a second, but you can really tell what the media thinks about a league, how the media perceives the importance of a league by the reporters they assign to cover it. When you think of the NBA, you probably think of Stephen A. Smith or Adrian Wojnarowski, Shams Charania. When you think of the NFL, you have N. Rappaport, Adam Schefter, Andrea Kramer. Perhaps you even think of pretend NFL analyst Mina Kimes. Typically, you have star reporters covering star players. Who was covering the game last night between the Dreamers and the Felines? Some doofus named Jim Trotter and his brother in virginity, James Boyd. Well, KC, who in the hell is Tom Trotter and Jamie Floyd? Well, Tommy Trotter used to work at the NFL Network. He's currently suing the league and accusing them of mythical racism. According to Jim Trotter, the only reason he was fired from the NFL Network is because he's black. I'm sure it had absolutely nothing to do with the fact that he sucked at his job. Now, Tom Trotter is covering the WNBA for The Athletic. James Boyd, he is some unknown blogger that no one's ever heard of. He's also covering the dump for The Athletic. Basically, The Athletic sent their D team to cover the D League. Before the game last night, Tim Trotter had some really important questions for Caitlin Clark. He didn't ask her about Team USA. He didn't ask how she was coping with the transition from professional basketball at Iowa to the garbage truck in the WNBA. Instead, Troy, he decided to focus on the real issues. He pressed Caitlin Clark on the importance of combating mythical racism. Watch for yourself.
I wonder from your standpoint how you feel about people using your name in whatever culture wars or whatever wars they're fighting. How do you feel about that?
It's not something I can control, so I don't put too much thought and time into thinking about things like that. And to be honest, I don't see a lot of it. I'm just here to play basketball. I'm here to have fun. I'm trying to help our team win. Obviously, we've won 3 games, and we feel like we've been in a position to win a few more than that. And my focus is on helping us do that. But I don't pay much mind to all of that, to be honest.
How much do you think that it's impacted your ability to cultivate relationships within the league?
I think everybody in the league understands, one, we're excited about all this attention we're getting. I think we're appreciative of it. I think the league has been great for a really long time. But my focus is on my teammates.
But I understand your focus, but I'm just curious, though, are you bothered that folks would attempt to weaponize your name in whatever fight they're fighting?
No, I don't see it. That's not where my focus is.
First of all, whoever made the decision when hiring Caitlin Clark's media team, you deserve a raise. This young woman has been trained perfectly when it comes to dealing with the parasites in the woke media. Caitlin Clark is a hell of a lot nicer than I am. Jim Trotter, he asked her 3 times. He asked the same damn question 3 times. Now, sure, he worded it differently, but the sentiment was still the same. He tried to bait Caitlin Clark into talking about racism. He tried to bait Caitlin Clark into denigrating other players in the WNBA. He tried to get her to lash out, tried to bait Caitlin Clark into playing the role of the ultimate victim. And what did she do? Well, Caitlin Clark did what she always does. She rose above it. Jim Trotter is 56 years old. He is a veteran in the mainstream media, and he was just outsmarted by a 22-year-old Caitlin Clark. Good for her. But the cafeteria, it wasn't closed just yet. Once Caitlin Clark turned down the shit sandwich, the woke media, they thought that she might be in the mood for dessert. Enter Jamie Floyd to serve a fresh slice of Pound My Brown cake. After Caitlin Clark was asked and answered 3 times by Tim Trotter, James Floyd, he decided to try again. You see, Jamie, he is a very ambitious doofus. Not only did he ask a question, but he framed the question based off a narrative that he created. Since they can't get Caitlin Clark to combat mythical racism directly, James Bond, he decided to create the narrative that her name is being weaponized to promote racism and misogyny. Now, where is it being weaponized? Who is using Caitlin Clark's name to promote the preferred woke boner words in the media? Unfortunately, Jim Boyd did not provide examples. If I had to guess, it's because he couldn't find any. But since Jamie is so ambitious, he decided to include another favorite term in the woke media. Katie, your name is being used to promote homophobia. What are you doing about it, damn it? Unfortunately for Jim Boyd, Caitlin Clark was not taking the bait from the master baiter. Watch for yourself.
When people use your name for racism, misogyny, whatever, what is your response to that specifically?
Yeah, I think it's disappointing. I think, everybody in our world, deserves the same amount of respect. The women in our league deserve the same amount of respect. So people should not be using my name to push those agendas. It's disappointing. It's not acceptable. But yeah, I mean, this league is a league I grew up admiring and wanting to be a part of. Like, some of the women in this league were my biggest idols and role models growing up.
Let me ask you something. In both of those clips, did Caitlin Clark say anything wrong? Did she say anything that was even remotely controversial? For most people, the answer is no and no. Not according to DeJohn Carrington, though. No, 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 no! Now, I'm sure you're wondering, who in the hell's Rodney Carrington? Well, Rodney Carrington is a brilliant comedian. Donna Carrington is the latest unknown WNBA player trying to use Caitlin Clark to get famous. Check it out for yourself. Now, it should come as no surprise that Donna Carrington, she attended college at Woke U Stanford. I mean, where else could she learn to include 90% of the woke commandments in a single tweet? Once again, Donna provides precisely 0 examples of any of these accusations. She is just jumping on the bruise caboose and pushing this false narrative in a desperate attempt to get noticed. The primary objective here is abundantly clear. Jealous WNBA dump divers, along with their pretend friends in the mainstream media, they are trying to destroy Caitlin Clark. Just think about the questions from Jim Trotter and Jim Bond. They were trying to set Caitlin Clark up. They were putting her in a lose-lose. If she confirms the mythical racism and mythical misogyny, if she confirms the so-called bigotry, she pisses off her core fan base. She would be accused of going woke. The Indiana Felines, they would go back to playing games in high school gyms. Instead of chartered flights, it's back to traveling to road games on the Schwinn. If Caitlin Clark denies mythical racism, she faces the wrath of the media. She also faces the wrath of jealous WNBA players, which that happened anyway. Caitlin Clark can't win. Doesn't matter what she says, she is not going to be accepted by the media, and she is damn sure not going to be accepted by jealous WNBA players. I have said it before, I'm going to say it again. You know what I would do if I were advising Caitlin Clark? I would call up Ice Cube and ask if his generous offer still stands. You want to pay me millions of dollars to play in the Big Three? I'm there. I guarantee you, Caitlin Clark would be accepted by the dudes in the Big Three. Matter of fact, I would be willing to bet they welcome her with open arms. If I were advising Caitlin Clark, I'd tell her to get the hell out of the WNBA dump. If you don't want to play in the Big Three, go play over in Europe. If WNBA dump divers want to keep the league to themselves, let them. Let them fend for themselves. Let them try to sell out arenas. Let them draw ratings on television. I wish Caitlin Clark nothing but success, but I hope she doesn't make the playoffs. If she doesn't make the playoffs, you are going to see the real drawing power of the rest of the league. And what you're going to find out is that drawing power does not exist. I told you guys months ago this was going to happen. The jealousy and resentment would destroy the WNBA. In this league, it is self-destructing right in front of your eyes. They deserve exactly what they get. If you are so blinded by jealousy, if you are so blinded by resentment that you can't realize how Caitlin Clark can financially benefit you, you deserve what you get. But give me your thoughts on this. Woke media tries to set Caitlin Clark up and they fail miserably. They tried to put her in a lose-lose. At this point, all of this seems intentional. Feels like the media is trying to destroy Caitlin Clark, which would absolutely destroy the WNBA. Should Caitlin Clark leave the dump? Would the WNBA survive without her? Well, KC, they survived for 28 years without her. No, this dump would be bankrupt without the generous subsidies provided by the NBA. When I say survive, can the WNBA go from being a charity to an actual business without Caitlin Clark? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys later.